The problem with product creation. All right, the problem with product creation is that betting your entire company on a product is actually kind of risky. And if you came up with the idea yourself, it's the scariest place to be in. I want to show you how to come up with your products so that they're not risky and they're actually a really cool asset for your business. Let's dive in. Gentlemen, do not do this. I was in the hospital, my ex-wife and I were having our first kid. And I was going and we were in there, literally in the hospital. Now nothing was happening, she had to get induced, but still don't do this. All right, I was sitting there and I was texting nothing was happening, texting a guy who had this really cool offer. He's a big influencer at the time. He's a little smaller now, I think, but you could text him and you could say like, hey, do you think this is a good idea before you actually go purchase, which is kind of a cool thing. So I was texting him. I was on product try, I have no idea, but I was a lot. And I was sitting there and I was just like, I had done all this customer research and I'd sat there and I was like, hey man, I've been doing these surveys. I've been doing, sitting down doing focus groups. Do you think this is a good idea? And he'd be like, oh, man, I don't even know. It's like, okay, well, I didn't explain it well enough. I'm surprised he even responded. Okay, cool. Let me say, hey, I've been doing surveys. I've been doing the work. I've found some data here. Is this a good product idea? And he's like, I don't know. I was getting a little thick now. And I said basically the same thing, and he goes, dude, I don't know. I let people vote with their wallets, not their mouths. What I'm gonna show you in this video, because it changed everything for me. What I'm gonna show you in this video is 3 myths of product creation. The common beliefs, I was taught them. I'm never gonna throw rocks at college, but man, they were wrong. I'm never gonna throw rocks at mainstream entrepreneurship, but holy smokes, don't do it that way. I guess I am gonna throw some rocks. Let's dive in, 3 myths. Product creation myth number 1. You need to love your own product. It's garbage. It's not true at all. I had someone ask me once like, hey Steve, I'm not passionate about the thing that you're talking about. All right, now passion certainly matters. And if you can find a way to be passionate about your thing, sweet. But to be totally honest, you are not the one that you're selling. So this is a big topic for me. I used to walk around and I remember I was poor, I was in college, I was trying to figure out how to launch a product, and I would walk around basically whipping myself emotionally, asking, what should I sell? What should I sell? What should I sell? What should I sell? And I did that for probably the first 12 product tries. And it wasn't, I don't know what switched this in me, but I realized I was asking the wrong question. Questions invite revelation. And the question I was asking was the wrong question. Everyone starts with, what should I sell? And it wasn't until I was able to back up and kind of go 30,000 feet and go, wait a second, it's not what should I sell? It's who should I sell, right? And that changed everything. And it actually made it so I didn't have to be this creative genius in order to create a product. I didn't have to go and be, because that's kind of what you're taught, right? It's like, oh, these entrepreneurs, they're going out into the woods. They're going into the wilderness to get their creative, prolific ideas and come back and grace us with their product idea. That's not how it works, right? There's a few times that happens where someone's just struck with a genius, but that's the exception, not the rule. The rule is you should probably actually just make sure that your customer loves your product. I'm not saying you gotta hate it or you gotta love it or whatever, but make sure that you know and have a great relationship with your customer. So there's a few things I've done to do that. Once you have clarity on who it is that you're trying to sell to, which is its own journey, it gets as easy as asking them what their problems are. That's it. That's all it is. You don't have to love your own product. As I've said before, you don't fill your own wallet. You are not your own customer. And this is a big hang up point for a lot of people. Because what is predominantly said around there is that like, oh man, I'm the one to ask. I got to go and I got to create this product. And if I'm not passionate about it, I certainly can't sell it. That's not true at all. It's garbage, as I say in this channel a lot. It's garbage. Okay? It's not true at all. What you need to make sure, the reality is that your customer loves your product and they love their experience with it. They're the one that you're selling. So under that pretense, there's been some people that have come to me and say, Steven, I don't know that I can work with you, man. I sell something that's a little bit, it's a little cheesy. It's a little bit like, I'm a little embarrassed by it. And I'll see them do this and their whole body language shifts. Like, I don't know about this. Like, and what they're doing is what I've noticed. What they're doing is they are apologizing for the business that they're in. And I have to point out quickly to say, wait, does your customer love it? And is it solving a cool problem? Yeah, they love it. Then who cares? That's totally fine. I'm getting into business buying right now, trying to buy other companies. And some of them, they're not the most exciting products on the planet, which is really the truth compared to you need to love the product. No, you don't. Product creation myth number 2. I have to make a product that I am around something that I'm personally struggling with. Right? You hear this pretty frequently. I gotta go make something that is a solution to my own problem. Now, some have gotten lucky with this, and some have that's worked, or at least it's gotten them to like an 80% mark. Okay, let me tell you how we actually created it was one of the first legitimate companies when I was in college. We were making $3,000 a month, $3,000 a week selling to college students. And that was the purpose of the semester. It was actually part of a class, but we had to build the business from scratch with no help. And if we didn't make actual consistent money, we failed the semester. It was pretty aggressive. It's really cool. But it was also hard. This is how we did it. We literally walked out to people. I was assigned to be in the food business, and I hate cooking, but that's what they signed me into. So we walked where other people were buying food. We walked to the cafeteria. That's who we're going to be selling to. And we didn't ask ourselves because we're not the one buying it, right? So we walked to the people who were right there and basically said, what food do you wish was here in the cafeteria? And they're like, I don't know, all the standard stuff, like blah, blah, whatever. One of them, after a whole day of 15 of us surveying in the cafeteria, we put all the data together, we did our market analysis, we did stats and all this stuff on it, way too aggressive. You don't need any of that stuff. And I was, we're looking at it and they're like, the golden answer everyone's looking for is empanadas. And I was like, I didn't even know what that is. And someone in the class was like, I think I have a grandmother twice removed with a cousin with this recipe buried in their grave. Let's go get it. And so they pulled the recipe out, and I was like, sweet. They voted me as the CEO of this thing. So I was like, sweet, what should we do next? Let's go ask them what kind of empanada. So the next day we go out and do the same thing. You all have said you want empanadas here. We're totally down to provide that for you. What kind of empanada? And they were like, after a full day, we looked at all the data and came back to it. And they're like, the data showed that they wanted only the most authentic flavors of empanadas, which was carne asada and pizza. I was like, that's so... Anyway, so we went out. I was like, who knows how to make that? I don't, whatever. Guess what we did? The next day, we went out. What would you want with it? They're like, only authentic things. American soda and chips. I'm like, okay, that's funny. That's what you're buying, but anyway. So then the next day we're like, what price point? Found out $7.50. Would you like this logo or that logo? We like this one. Do you like business store hours being this or that? Literally, they built the entire thing for us. Okay, and it's because the myth is that I have to go in and solve my own problem. No, you are solving the problem of the customer. It's not about you. Remove yourself, get out of the way of creative product creation. And the whole game gets a lot easier. Okay, so that's what we did, is we walked out and we said, what do you want? So what we try to do is we want to do that same effect on the internet. And we want to walk around and we ask people what their things are. So instead of what should I sell, it's who should I sell, and then we get to know their problems. So while the myth is commonly like you have to build your own solution to a problem you struggle with, and some have lucked out with that, the real truth is you need to build a product tailored directly to the person who's going to be purchasing in the first place. Before I show you product creation myth number 3, which is very good and juicy, and please stick around, subscribe. These are free for you, and they're helping a ton of people, and we want to be able to tell YouTube that they're awesome. Also hit the thumbs up button if you're liking it. If you hate it, tell me. You can put a thumbs down. I thought it'd be cool, though, in the comments down below, put the most ridiculous product that you have ever tried, ever. I think for me, it was either an ebook about how to get straight A's, which no student wants to buy, or a diamond business, which was just massively complicated to run. We were focused on the logo rather than the sales. It was awful. What was your worst one? Tell me below. Product creation myth number 3. My product must be amazing and perfect and bulletproof before I'm ever qualified to make a sale. That is not true at all. That's not true at all. There's never been such thing as a perfect product for a launch. They're just not. And it's because they're human, and we're all human. And there's mistakes in it sometimes. It just doesn't happen that way. If that was true, we would already have iPhone 15,000. Does that make sense? They come out with a new one all single time, because it's new adaptations, new things. Hey, this keeps back, I'm not making fun of you, but this is a little kick in the butt here, okay? Most people who are engineer mindsets have the hardest time with this because they want to perfectly engineer something the entire way before they feel like they're qualified to make a sale. That's not what a sale is based on. A sale is based on exchange of value, not exchange of product. So your product does not need to be perfect in order to make the sale. And think about how powerful this concept is. So here's how we do that. I will start to sell something, and then I go and I create a feedback loop from my customers to figure out what they don't like or what they wish was there. This is a big deal. I basically sort feedback into 2 buckets. All right, so it's a feedback loop bucket or set of buckets that I create. And feedback comes back in a lot of ways. Sometimes it'll be in testimonials, or sometimes people will be like, oh my gosh, I'm super psyched because I can see how this fits over here, right? I'll get testimonials. But sometimes I get feedback by the way of someone ticked. And I don't do that on purpose, obviously, but sometimes it happens. All right, Disneyland has bad reviews. All right, it happens to all of us. All right, sometimes feedback will happen because I gave an opportunity for them to give feedback, which is the best. But what I do is I sort all of it as I get it into 2 buckets. It's one of 2 places. The first bucket is feedback about the product itself. I wish it did this. I wish it had bonus right here. I thought I was going to do this and it doesn't. It does that. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really good feedback. Let me go change the script so no one else thinks that. Does that make sense? What happens here is you actually get to give up all this creative power and the market just starts to take you and guide you. It's really nice. It's really nice. It's not all on you. Creative, amazing product creation is not all on you. You don't need to be a genius or some creative mastermind to get a great product out. Get the first version out, get a feedback loop, and you'll start to feel guided and pulled by the market beyond what you would know to go do. I can't tell you how many times this has happened to me. We're about to get a product out the door, we get a piece of feedback, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the mark I thought was here, the mark's actually over here. I'm so glad that we got that piece of feedback. So build these pieces of feedback. The first bucket is feedback about the product itself. The second bucket is about future product ideas that don't relate with what you sold. This is awesome because it means the market starts to tell you the other things you should sell it. Guess what you all ask me for? Every one of you asks for a book, consulting, or a mastermind, or a software. Those are the 4. So guess what we're doing next quarter? I'm making a book. We have a mastermind. We're putting software out there. Thank you, Marketplace, for your feedback loops. I appreciate that. This is this in action, though. And that's the point. You don't need to have this perfect, perfected, amazing product to go sell. You need a product with something that's good enough for the sale. And then you're not done, though. It's all about getting and improving the product line along the way, which is, again, why we don't have iPhone 15 billion. I got a free gift here for you. Go to yourfinaloffer.com because I asked 30 internet millionaires, very successful people, what would your final offer be? Your final product, right? We're talking about this in the video. What would your final offer be if you could only make one final offer? What would it be? And it had to fund the rest of your life. That's a very unique set of criteria right here. And if I'm going to ask successful people that, you get some really cool responses. It's completely free. It's a free summit. It'll drip out to you 3 days in a row. Go to yourfinaloffer.com. We'll put the link in the description.